For the last 3 or 4 months now, Masudo has been consistently breaking records, and it isn't the type of record that you might be familiar with or possibly want to even celebrate in the first place. No, Masudo has been smashing the lowest concurrent player base it's had since its release 3 years ago. That is impressive to be dwindling at about 12,000 concurrent players now when we were averaging about 20,000 plus just last year. Can you believe and imagine that Snake Eye had more people playing the game than where the game is at today? This card right here is enough to make me just never want to play ranked again. Not even gonna bother whining about Maxi. We've done that 1,000 times. Just given up on the fact and gaslit myself into believing that'll never go away. Animal rights activists, I'm sorry. I hope the bear gets rabies. The fact that this and Baron and Maxi can all exist in a best of one environment with floodgates is so freaking miserable for the competitive aspect of this game. I don't even know where to begin. This is mostly like ranked complaining right now, and this is probably why the vast majority of my content for a long time now has primarily focused on making Yugioh good. And Yugioh is a great game when you don't have to deal with the current meta. That's not to say there's bad metas. My god, head on over to the TCG and it is night and day just how different our games are. Why do they get to have fun? Masudo's killing the TCG? Well, here's a counterpoint. If that's so true, why is TCG so much better? And why is Masudo so garbage? I don't know if you can tell right now, but this video is completely unscripted and I have 3 bullet points right now. Ranked, make the game better. Don't know what I really meant by that. It's true though. And I guess we've got like slow card releases and game modes. Now here's the thing. Everything that I've been feeling for the last like 4 months or so can easily be cancelled by a completely different card pool. For example, the TCG. That's not to say TCG doesn't currently have its problems, but Masudo is in such a miserable, unplayable state. Normally my discussion style videos tend to be scripted and very sort of nuanced and impartial and positives and negatives. I don't care about that anymore. I'm so sick and tired of ranked Masudo. It is just miserable. I don't think I've tried to grind a ranked game all year, really, at this point. There is no possible way to play an alternative format if you want to take a break and chill out with some Time Wizard, time travel, or something. I don't know. Thanks, America. And of course, the fact that there is an amazing format just waiting to be played, but probably 8 months from now, well, that doesn't give me much confidence either. That's really the biggest problem here, is like, we're gonna be stuck in this current state before we get the Jush cards till early next year, minimum. Why is Apollosa still in the game in a best of one environment? I hope that bear causes her to fall off and break her neck. I don't care anymore. I hope it gets rabies. I'm so sick and tired of these cards that are just game-ending, coin-flippery bullshit in a best of one environment. The game right now is in a state where you have to basically just play Malice or main Lancia. I mean, in a best of one environment just to beat this deck. It is such a miserable experience. It is a no-joke 37-minute cutscene combo garbage piece of pile of trash. And then eventually, when you do actually get to your turn, they'll just drop multiple hand traps as well as the 5 disruptors they had on the field in the first place. It plays through multiple hand traps, it's very hard to stop, and it has access to some of the most broken cards ever made, like Apollosa, and they just got support! That's what I can't get out of my head here. This deck has been buffed! I seriously hope by the time that this video gets posted that the post-Worlds ban list eventually drops and they completely slaughter this deck into oblivion. And it's just unplayable. I hate this game. Whew. So I've been trying to make the game fun and enjoyable by other means, like playing the sandbox versions of cubes and drafting and all of these low-powered formats that you guys are accustomed to, WONKY QUARTET collabs and things like that. Playing a bunch of gimmicky, dumb, fun stuff is always like the best part of Yugioh and the thing that I enjoy the most. Watching people play in actually a back-and-forth fair and balanced format, using something like the Legacy Pack tournament that we did just recently. But I'm just really so sick and tired of ranked right now, but again, it's part and parcel, maybe something to do with modern Yugioh. That's a whole other different discussion. But like this exact specific meta on Masudo is just like unplayable. Because again, if you just like completely shift the card pool away, I think the game would be good if you just bring in the TCG cards, for example. And I'm not in a minority for this. There is a real reason why this game is at its lowest ever player numbers. If that isn't like setting off warning bells for Konami, then I don't really know what could possibly help alleviate that. Maybe the numbers are good in terms of monetary gain, because here's the thing. They're making a bunch of all these like crazy bundles. You get these like artwork, you know, just basically generated in some sort of CAD software that a high school student could have done. And then they sell it for like 2,500 gems to get a bunch of random packs from some unplayable archetype like Witchcrafter. And then people, I guess, maybe spend their money to buy that. And then you've got this like whole go most rare special vintage sort of artwork of Breaker. People are buying that. So I assume on the cosmetic side of things and the monetary gain of Macedon, it's probably in a good, healthy spot right now, which is dissatisfying for the average player who does want to play Macedon even semi-competitively, because if you play the game competitively and you do your dailies and you do your events, you probably don't need to spend that much money, if anything at all, to maintain a meta deck, because now the incentive is that, oh, well, if we just keep making more cosmetics and putting more things in the shop, then the game will sustain itself, and we don't actually have to make any meaningful change to Macedon to make it more fun and enjoyable. Do you remember when the release of this game was like Virtual World VFD Turbo, Eldritch with Imperial Order and multiple rivalry goes in, or Drytron? That was the meta at the launch of Macedon, but nobody cared. Hundreds of thousands of people logged in to play that format. As miserable as it was. But that's because it was fresh, new, and interesting, and it was Macedon in its current shape and form, which was amazing and fun. 3 years ago. It's been 3 years. What has changed in Macedon in 3 years? There's no new game modes. There is no new solo modes, meaningful gameplay changes to solo mode. There's new reskins of solo mode in the sense that you go through the exact same loop that you did 3 years ago. You read a dialogue, you do a practice tutorial game, and then you do a game against the bot. And that's it. They keep talking about this whole AI amazing stuff that they're doing with like the learning from duels. They tried that commentary thing, and then eventually, by the way, they scrapped it completely because apparently it ended up stealing from other AI models or something. I can't remember the exact thing. Basically, they discontinued the AI commentary thing. It's like, oh no, AI has not been working out. It steals from others. Who could have seen that coming? They said and parroted it for over a year now that they were going to implement a way to duel against the AI and stuff. Well, there's nothing even close to that right now for solo mode. There's no new game modes like Edison or the GOAT format, which they have done as duel trials multiple times here, but it's not like anything you can actually do outside of those 3-day windows that happened, what, twice last year? So there's no like ranked mode for that, which would be infinitely more interesting. There's no arena, there's no drafting, there's no tournament mode with duel rooms. They haven't done any changes to duel rooms in 3 years. Like, what is there to do after 3 years in this game other than just play ranked? Like, please, tell me. Like, I mean, I can tell you, I'm the content creator here. We've been doing a whole bunch of other things, but what does the average person get to do? Do you guys have like 3 other 4 friends that you can consistently draft and cube with? Maybe, I don't know, but for the average player base, I feel like this game is in trouble. Not everyone has access to a elaborate sort of website software that can like draft a bunch of cards for you and all that kind of stuff. And that's besides the point. Anyway, I just want something here. Like, nothing is going on. I don't understand how so little has been changed in such a long amount of time, and I am reaching my breaking point because I want to play ranked. I have a competitive itch. I'm a competitive player at heart. I love grinding. I love playing the top tier best decks and having back and forth fun games. You just don't get that currently. Like, Malice is not a deck that offers that type of gameplay. Yugioh is not a deck that really offers that type of gameplay. At least, like, when it's so dominated by Malice anyway, it really is just go fish, it feels like. I might just be an old man right now complaining about meta bad, but this is truly one of the worst metas I've played in. I just want to play TCG format, but online, basically. And these decks just can't come any faster. Even if you want to play for fun rogue decks and stuff, it's just that the problem is, like, Malice is so overpowering and basically beats like 99% of the card pool, even some floodgates. It's just a miserable experience. I'm not having fun with the ranked format right now. And again, all of this could essentially boil down to card pool bad. We just need new cards. We just need the new format to come in place. But I feel like there's just like a fundamental root issue here with cards like Apollosa being allowed to exist, with Maxi being in the game, with even just the concept of best of one. But these are all problems and issues that we've talked about historically many times. I guess I'm just really feeling the burn right now because I'm just really struggling to enjoy ranked in any shape or form. I wish that like we could play like Orcus, the new stuff, the punk things, new Dragon Maids, Dracotail, Yummy, Vanquish Soul, K9. These are all like actually good, fun, interactive back and forth decks. Sometimes they have their issues and problems, don't get me wrong, but it's just everything compounds together. You have a combo deck like Malice, which is just like inherently is going to not be fun for player 2. And then on top of that, they have access to some of the best cards that they never had in the TCG. And they just got support. Like, what do you mean you gave this deck support? I'm trying to think of like the best ways to like fix this, and other than just like, you know, burn it down to the ground and start again, which is essentially what Justice Hunters did, that's kind of like where I'm at right now. I'm just gonna keep playing these dumb little fun game modes and watching silly replays, and hopefully that'll tide me through until the game gets fun and enjoyable again. I mean, you do probably recall like last year I'd make a couple of gameplay videos here and there. Like I made an Unchained video where I like did a serious deck profile and offered some gameplay, and it was like the master rank, and I was like actually playing against like competent competent players, and like that's super fun and enjoyable because that deck was interactive. Like you actually got to play against the person. They didn't just like negate, bounce, or disrupt everything you did. And it's just, I'm just not having fun with how the current format is. And I might just be fixating too much on like the actual card pool here, but you can't deny that even the biggest fan of Malice has to admit that Malice is a deck that exacerbates every single negative aspect of the game. The long turns, the disruptions, the play on your turn type of thing. Maybe not the play on your turn too much, but just the amount of hand traps and stuff this deck can still play despite getting new support. Sorry, this has been very ranty. I don't really have much to really offer in way of solutions. And I just felt like I needed to get this off my chest because I really hate ranked right now. I don't know, maybe if you ban like 4 of the top decks right now, the game will be enjoyable. I'm really disappointed that nothing has been done to create alternative ways to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Outside of just current ranked advanced format. And I hope eventually something gets done about this. I don't know how much more of this I can take. I mean, I guess just have to deal with it because, like I said, like when is the Justice Hunter format going to come to mass duel? It's literally like next year. Like, what are we going to do for 4 months? Spin wheels? All right, let me know what your current thoughts and experiences are on mass duel. And am I just being an old doomsaying boomer at this point? Leave a comment down below with some of your thoughts and prayers in the next one. Bye bye.